You know, of all the tools we as woodworkers use, I don't think any cross it into the different disciplines any more than the bench chisel. This is the time when you need the best and all the advantages that you can get. So get good chisels. Let's see how this chisel works. I've got a piece of birch. I'm going to work with the 25-degree chisel first. This should give me a nice, clean cut. Slices through there with very little effort. Leaves a nice finished surface behind. And because it requires so little effort, I'm left with lots of control and I can make this do what I want. You notice how I do this? I'm holding the chisel so that the butt is in my palm. I've got it locked into my body. I'm actually using my body weight to move that chisel forward instead of using my arm. And I slide along the face of the bench, and it just makes it very easy to do. I mentioned earlier about predictability. What I mean by that, when that back is absolutely flat, I know exactly when the chisel is going to start to work. If you've ever used your chisel, and on end grain in particular, found that you had to keep lifting and lifting and lifting to finally get it to bite, the back of your chisel probably isn't flat. With this one, I know exactly where that's going to start to pick up a shaving. It makes it a lot easier to use. Now that's the 25 degree. I was cutting dovetails in some softwood, and I had constant wood failure between the tails. Didn't matter how sharp the chisel was, the wood in between the tails would break out and big chunks would come out. It was extremely frustrating. So I started experimenting with the primary bevel angles. And I would change the angle to be a little more acute, sharpen the chisel, try it, keep doing that until I finally got to the point where it would chop through softwoods without fracturing. Well, I found at 17 degrees seemed to be the magic number. Now this is a piece of basswood, so watch how clean this chisel will cut. Leaves a nice surface behind. It's very easy to push that through the wood. Now, most chisel manufacturers would not recommend that you grind their chisels to 17 degrees. And I think it's only the best ones that will actually stand up. I actually suggest to my students that you buy a second half-inch and a second quarter-inch chisel and grind those down to something similar to this and just save those for dealing with those woods like pine, aspen, basswood, alder, some of the woods that tend to be fragile. But you'll find that it works tremendously well. Little circular motion. Now I do this until it leaves a full width shadow. Now I can go in there, I can use my hand to pry against, and I can pull up those chips and not damage the sides. All right, there you have it, our 9 chisels. 4 mortise chisels, 5 beveled edges, just about everything you're going to need to build furniture. But there is one more I'm going to introduce you to.
Wow, Dad, that's sharp.